Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share these What's for Dinner videos every week to motivate y'all to cook more for your family and to hopefully give you some new meal ideas. This week I've got a bunch of delicious dinners to share with you. As always, if I have any links for recipes, they're in the description box. And if I have any written out recipes, they're in the description box as well. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night, I made homemade hamburger helper stroganoff. For this, I like to brown 1 pound of ground beef with some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, rosemary, and minced garlic. When the beef is all browned, you can drain off any excess grease if you need to. My beef was like 90-10, so I didn't really have anything to drain off. And then I added in some Worcestershire sauce, some beef broth, milk, water, and my egg noodles, and then I brought that to a boil. Once it came to a boil, I gave it a stir and then I turned the heat down to a medium-low and covered it and let it cook for between 7 to 10 minutes until those egg noodles were done. And then when my egg noodles were done, I went in and added some sour cream. I do somewhere between half a cup to a cup. I just kind of eyeball it until it looks the way I want it to look. And then you also want to taste it and see if you need to add any more salt and pepper. Usually I definitely need to add more pepper. We like it really peppery. And then I just let this sit on low for about 5 minutes and the sauce will like really thicken up. And here's what that looks like plated up. I always serve this with some canned peas on the side. It just reminds me of my childhood. My mom used to always make the boxed hamburger helper stroganoff with some peas on the side. It is Saturday night and tonight for dinner we are doing sausage, green beans, and potatoes. This is a meal that I've shared many times. I got the recipe from my friend Kat over at Southern Farm and Kitchen. Whenever I make it, I always have her video linked down below as well, so y'all can go check that out. Check out her channel if you haven't before. She posts all kinds of recipes and they're always good, so make sure you go over there if you haven't before. But I am switching things up a little bit tonight. Usually I just use a regular smoked sausage, but I had this andouille smoked sausage in the freezer, so I cut up that. It's a little bit over a pound and I sliced it. And I'm going to start off by cooking that up first. I'm going to get browned really well. And then I always do 2 cans of green beans. I don't drain them, but usually I do some fresh cut up potato. But to make it easier tonight, I decided to use these sliced potatoes from Aldi. I think the whole potatoes that you can get in the can. I think you can get diced potatoes in the can. Whatever, any of that I think would be good in this. But this is my first time trying it, just to make it just a little bit easier tonight, give me less work to do. So once this is all browned up, I'll add in all 4 cans of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the liquid on all of them, because usually the only liquid that I add is the 2 cans of green beans. So we'll just see. And then I might add some chicken broth or chicken bouillon to it, but I know I'm gonna add some Badia Complete and some butter, and then we'll see how it looks and tastes. To go with it, I prepped up some Cheddar Bay biscuits, basically buttermilk cheddar biscuits. I have a video on these, so I will leave that link down below. I'm about to pop those in the oven and get this sausage cooking. Okay, here are our biscuits. As I said, I will have the recipe for that down below. And here are our bowls with our sausage, green beans, and potatoes. I've already tasted it. It tastes good. It's great with the canned potatoes, so highly recommend that as a little shortcut. But next time I do it, I will drain both cans of potatoes. It's a little too soupy, a little bit too much liquid than I prefer. I did decide to like eat mine kind of like a soup. I drained the kids like off a little bit, but as you can see, there's a lot of liquid in there, and I tend to like it to be on the like less liquid side. So next time I will just do the cans of green beans, like the liquid from that, excuse me, and definitely drain both cans of potatoes. This time I only drained one can, and it still tastes good, but just keep that in mind. If you want it more soupy, then add more liquid, and if you don't want it soupy, then make sure you drain that liquid. But that is going to be dinner for Saturday. On Sunday, I made creamy cilantro lime shrimp pasta. This recipe you can actually make with shrimp. The first time I ever made it, I made it with shrimp. And I just heat up 2 tablespoons of oil in my skillet, and then I season 1 pound of shrimp all over with the toned cilantro lime seasoning. The original recipe didn't call for this, but it is so delicious. And you just cook the shrimp or chicken, whatever protein you want, through in that seasoning, and when it's done, you remove it from the pan, and then I add some lime juice, minced garlic, and chicken broth to the pan and let that simmer for a few minutes. After that mixture has reduced slightly, I add in some heavy cream and bring it to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, you're going to turn off the heat and add in some shredded cheese and cilantro. While all that was cooking, I was cooking up 8 ounces of spaghetti noodles, and when it's just about done, you're going to want to reserve half a cup to a cup of that pasta water. And then when the noodles are done, you can add them to the sauce, add the shrimp back in and mix it all around, and add some more pasta water if you need it. We just like to serve this with some extra cilantro on top. It's absolutely delicious with both shrimp and chicken. Highly recommend this recipe. So it is Monday night, and tonight we are having Mississippi pot roast. Lily requested this, and it was perfect because I needed something that I could throw in the crock pot this morning that will be done like this evening, because I have to pick up my aunt from the hospital at like 5:30. She's just having a little back surgery. It's like an outpatient surgery, nothing too major, but she does need a ride home, so I need to pick her up. It's during traffic time. I don't want to come home and cook dinner, so this is perfect. But I have some like sad news. I forgot the pepperoncini peppers. I thought we had some. We do not, and I'm not about to run out this morning, get some, and then have to leave again later. It's raining, it's gross outside. I'm not doing that, so we're just gonna make it without it, and hopefully it's still good. I've heard that some of you don't do the peppers because you don't like spice and you don't like peppers, so hopefully we still like it. I've got a ranch seasoning package as usual. I'm gonna sprinkle some on my chuck roast. This is like a 3-pound chuck roast, I think. And then I have an au jus packet, and I'm gonna sprinkle some of that on there. And then I've already cut up 3 extremely large potatoes and like 6 carrots. Every time I make this, I make more carrots, but it's still never enough carrots for my family. I've said before, they love the carrots. So we'll see if it's enough this time. End up making the whole bag next time. Although I don't know if maybe the whole bag would fit in here. I'm not sure. So we've got that on top, and then I'm going to sprinkle over the rest of that ranch seasoning. I'm really upset about the pepperoncinis. Not upset enough to leave, but it's very disappointing. We've got the rest of our au jus, and you can also use like brown gravy instead of au jus. I have done that before because Aldi does not carry au jus, but I happen to have this one in the cabinet from Kroger. And then 1 stick of butter. Just gonna lay that over the top, and I'm gonna cook this on high because it's already like noon, and I want to make sure it gets cooked all the way through, so I'm gonna cook it on high for about 6 hours. Okay, it has been a total of 8 hours. At 5 hours in, I turned this down to low, and so now it's been on low for 3 hours. I did that because we were leaving and I didn't know when we would be back. And it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So we were gone for like 3 hours. We just got home just after 8. So I'm going to scoop out all of these veggies and then shred up the meat. And because it is so late, we're just going to eat the meat and potatoes and carrots, when usually I would serve it over rice. But yeah, I'm gonna plate it up and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, I don't even want to really call this Mississippi pot roast because it was basically just a pot roast, since it was missing those pepperoncini peppers, which I think are like key in the Mississippi pot roast. It just wasn't the same. It was still really good. It had really good flavor from that ranch packet and the au jus packet, but we really missed the peppers being in it this time. But if you're wondering if it's still good without the peppers, it is still good, just not as good in our opinion. It is Tuesday night, and tonight for dinner I am trying a recipe out of this Family Meals from Scratch in your Instant Pot cookbook that I got recently. It is called Salsa, Verde, Shredded Pork Tacos, and it seems really easy. It just is going to take quite a while to cook. So I've already got a pork loin here in the Instant Pot, and to that I'm going to add 1 cup of water and then some salsa verde. I've got this one from Aldi, the mild one. I've got 1 whole jar, which is what it calls for, 16 ounces. But I also have a little bit left in this other jar, so I'm gonna add that in there as well. And then it says it needs to cook on high pressure for 60 minutes and then let it do a natural release, which will take, it says, a total of about 75 minutes to cook. So we're gonna get this going. Should be super easy. Then we'll shred it up and just make some tacos. all the pressure has been released. It took about 18 minutes for all that to be released. So here is what it is looking like. I am going to use my little like ground beef thing to shred this up, and then I'm actually going to take this pot out of here, put my my non-stick one in, and make some Mexican rice to go with our tacos. Okay, here are the kids' plates. This one is Lily's. She's got some salsa. We're gonna have some chips. They're gonna be on the table. She's got the pork, some fresh Mexican cheese that I crumbled, and some tomato on her taco. And then we've got our Mexican rice, which I will leave a link down below. I did do something different today. I added one of those packages of Sazon to it, and I tasted it, and I think it tastes pretty good. So I will let y'all know what everybody else thinks. And I didn't have any frozen mixed vegetables, so they're not in it today, but it tasted good to me. And then they've got some sliced avocado with a little bit of salt on there. So that is Elijah's. His is the same, he just doesn't have any tomato in his taco. And then here is mine. I just got 2 tacos with the pork, some of that fresh crumbled Mexican cheese, cilantro, avocado, and tomato, and then I've got a lime on the side to squeeze over top of everything. So I shredded up that pork, and I ended up removing it from the Instant Pot because there was so much liquid. As you can see, there's some in there. I poured a little bit back over top to keep it kind of moist, but there is a ton of liquid still in here. I think I'm gonna strain that and save that broth for something else, like maybe a soup or something. So I'm gonna strain that and then probably put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. But yeah, that is going to be dinner for Tuesday. Wednesday night was our typical spaghetti night. I just browned a pound of ground beef with some minced garlic, some salt and pepper, some onion powder, some more garlic, some garlic powder, and some Italian seasoning. I've really been liking using the fresh minced garlic when I make spaghetti. It just adds so much more flavor and makes me really like it. When I'm a person who doesn't absolutely love spaghetti, I could do without spaghetti, but my family absolutely loves it. So I just browned up that pound of ground beef, and then when it was browned, I removed any excess grease, and then I added in a jar of marinara. We really like the marinara from Aldi, so I added that in, stirred it around, turned the heat down to medium low, covered it with a lid, and just let that simmer while I finished cooking my noodles. Over in the back in another pot, I have some salted water that I'm bringing to a boil, and then I cooked up about 8 ounces of spaghetti noodles. And then to go with this, I am making some little garlic bread. I had some French bread that I picked up at Kroger. I just sliced it and then put some of this Chef Chamois garlic butter on there, baked it in the oven on 375 for 8 minutes so I could get nice and toasted. And then here are our plates, just your typical spaghetti with some garlic bread, a family favorite around here. It is Thursday night, and tonight for dinner I am doing honey bourbon chicken in the Instant Pot. I originally saw this on TikTok, but she made it in the crock pot, so I will have that link down below. I didn't pull out my chicken last night. What's new around here? I do this all the time. I forget to pull out my chicken. So I didn't want to throw the frozen chicken in the crock pot this morning. So I thawed it out, and we're going to make it in the Instant Pot tonight. I think this recipe is slightly different from the one she shared. So I will leave both down below because I did look up a recipe to make it in the Instant Pot, even though it was pretty sure it's 15 minutes and I could throw all the same things in there. But yeah, I just looked it up anyways. So I've got my chicken in there, 2 chicken breasts, probably about a pound of chicken. And I'm going to start by seasoning them all over with some salt and pepper. And it says diced onion. I don't feel like chopping an onion tonight, so I'm going to add some of this dried minced onion. Now it also says about a 1/4 tablespoon of red pepper flakes. I don't want this to be too spicy for the kids, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. And then it says some minced garlic. I'm going easy tonight and using the jarred stuff because I just want it to be super easy. I've been cleaning all day and I am just trying to throw this together real quick. And then this specific recipe, oh no, I just squeezed ginger all over the place because this was open a little bit. But this specific recipe doesn't say ginger, and I think the one that she did didn't say ginger either. But I have seen ginger in some of the honey bourbon chicken recipes that I looked at. So I'm going to add a little bit of this ginger paste just because I have it. And then 1/2 cup of soy sauce. I use Kikkoman because it's the best soy sauce there is. And then 1/2 cup, or no, a 1/4 cup of ketchup. I'm sorry. I'm not going to measure it, guys. We're going to go with that. Oh, I got it all over the lid. Sometimes when you're trying to be in a rush, you make a mess. And then a cup of honey. I am going to measure that. Because I don't think I can eyeball a cup. I can eyeball a 1/4 cup. But I can't eyeball a cup. And while I was looking up recipes for this, I learned that original, like, bourbon chicken does not have bourbon, like the alcohol in it. It's named bourbon chicken because it's from New Orleans. It's from Bourbon Street in New Orleans. That's something that I learned. Never knew that. A lot of recipes do put bourbon in it. But there was like comments talking on like one of the posts like, why are you calling it bourbon chicken when there's no bourbon in it? And somebody was like, well, actually, true bourbon chicken is just named bourbon chicken because it was from Bourbon Street. And I never knew that. And then it says 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I don't really know why we need oil in this, but I'm going to add a little bit. Give it another stir. I think that's everything. We've got our chicken, salt, pepper, onion, soy sauce, ketchup, vegetable oil, garlic, red pepper flakes, and honey. And then we're going to cook this on high pressure, 15 minutes. Let it naturally release for 5, and then we'll add some cornstarch and water to thicken the sauce. And yeah, quick and easy dinner. Okay, I let the pressure naturally release for 5 minutes, and then I just released the rest of the pressure, which there was only a little bit still in there. Let's see what this looks like. Looks good. I am going to turn it on saute and whisk in this cornstarch and water that I mixed together. Just a little bit. Whisk that together. Yes, I know, you're getting hot. And I am actually going to take out my chicken and slice it up and then add it back in here. I don't want to shred it tonight. I just want it kind of sliced up. So I'm going to do that and let this sauce just kind of simmer on saute and thicken up a bit. Here is dinner. I made some perfect white rice in the Instant Pot. I actually cooked that before I cooked the chicken and just took it out. it pays to have 2 pots for my Instant Pot. I've got the stainless steel one that it came with, and then I asked for the non-stick one for Christmas or my birthday, I can't remember. But having 2 is awesome because I can still make 2 different recipes. So we've got perfect white rice. I'll have the video for that linked down below, and then just some green beans. I had broccoli on the meal plan, but you know, as I said with the chicken, I wanted things to be easy. I did not feel like cutting up broccoli and putting it in the oven. So I just opened a can of green beans and left it at that. And I'll use the broccoli for something probably tomorrow. But that's my plate. Those are the kids' plates. I already tasted a piece of the chicken and it is tasty. So I think everybody else will like it. I will leave a note here on the screen letting you guys know what everybody else thought of it. But that is dinner for Thursday. And that is going to be it for another week of What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you plan on trying any of these recipes, let me know in the comments down below. And if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there and come back and see my future videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!